Oh, you thought this was dead. No, I'm not talking about the Queen. I'm of course talking about Tri-Brigade, which has fallen from being the best deck in the game, being hit by several bans, going from absolutely tier 1, dropping all the way down to tier 3. Okay, maybe this deck never actually died. The point is, that deck list has now dropped significantly in power level since its tier 1 days, considering it's been power crept quite a bit, and of course it's received quite a few hits on the ban list. Well, you know all that new branded fusion stuff everyone's talking about? The new broken fusion spell that just absolutely summons Giga Chad boss monsters that make it really damn hard to play the game? Well, imagine if some of those branded cards actually just had Tri-Brigade written in the name. Oh no. So here's today's deck list. Now, just a reminder before I go through the deck list, if you're enjoying today's video and want to see more content just like it in the future, especially if you're a returning viewer, as apparently only about 50% of the people watching right now are even subscribed to the channel, yet nearly all of you are actually returning viewers who have seen my stuff before. So if you want to see more content from me in the future, make sure to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to this channel. Alright, so today's deck list is obviously going to be Tri-Brigade. Now, you've probably already seen basically every single card in here before, as a lot of you guys are going to be very familiar with Tri-Brigade, considering it was considered tier 1 for basically the longest time in Master Duel, was considered the best deck in the game, the most popular deck in the game. You've all seen this deck list before. But it's had a significant upgrade, and that is of course the addition of the new branded stuff. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does branded have to do with Tri-Brigade in particular? Well, there's actually quite a few supporting cards in Branded that are specifically aimed for Tri-Brigade, with most notably being, of course, the new hand trap, Tri-Brigade Mercourier. This card has 2 effects, and also keep in mind this card is a Tri-Brigade card, so it's obviously searchable off of your Nervall, and it's also being able to send to the graveyard via your kit. Alright, this card, when your opponent activates a monster effect where you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to negate that effect. So obviously a really powerful effect, since it just negates basically any monster effect your opponent tries to activate, and on top of that, you're basically going to have access to this card every single game, and this card's going to be active every single game, because every one of your end boards is now going to be ending on Mirrorjade. So obviously a really powerful hand trap. Alright. If this card is banished, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 Fallen of Albaz or 1 monster that mentions it, except Tri-Brigade Mercourier. You can use each effect once per turn. So obviously this card is really easy to get off its second effect as well, because banishing this card is super easy to do in a deck that needs to banish cards from their graveyard to be able to do your link summoning. So basically, get this in your graveyard, you can activate any of your Tri-Brigade monsters to do your link summoning effects as per normal, and then this card gets banished, it searches for a copy of Albion. So adding this card to your hand is just essentially a really good way to generate value, since this card will net you an extra draw, and it will allow you to add back your Tri-Brigade Mercourier back to your hand. So this card effect is if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send 1 Fallen of Albaz or 1 Branded Spell and Trap card from your hand or deck to the graveyard and apply the following effects based on where you sent it from. Hand, special summon this card, but normally it will be from the deck. Place this card on the bottom of the deck, then if you place this card from your hand, draw 1 card. So essentially, you'll be netting 1 draw, and in the process, you'll be allowed to send your branded sword straight to the graveyard. So this card has 2 effects, but generally the first effect you're not going to be using basically ever, but I'll read it out anyway. Banish any number of branded spell and trap cards from your graveyard to special summon that many Iceblade tokens. Dark, Dragon, level 8 attack 2500, 2000 defense, which is honestly pretty damn stacked, but you won't be using that effect basically ever. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 of your banished monsters that is Fallen of Albaz or mentions it. Add that monster to your hand. So essentially, you can banish this from your graveyard, and just add back your Tri-Brigade Mercourier that you used to get hold of your Albion. So you'll end on the end board, and you'll end on a nice little negate as well. To complete the new additions to the deck, we of course have the brand new branded fusion stuff. Now I'm sure you guys are all very well aware of what these cards do by now, as these cards are going to be the next meta-relevant thing. Basically, they already are considered meta if you've tried playing on the ladder. These cards are everywhere, because they are just really broken. If you thought Destiny Fusion was bad, this card is basically that, but 10 times worse. This card allows you to fusion summon 1 monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz material from your extra deck, using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion material. So essentially, this card can just send any materials that you like from hand, deck, or field to the graveyard, then bring out any of your fusion boss monsters. In this case, you're generally going to be summoning out your Mirrorjade in combination with sending your Bearbrumm to the graveyard, because that will search out a Tri-Brigade Revolt whilst you're doing it. But you can also go for a couple of other options. You can also go for your Albion, which uses a Fallen of Albaz plus 1 light monster, which, since you run Nibiru, it's quite easy to use your Fallen of Albaz and your Nibiru in deck to be able to bring this card out and do a nice little fusion summon that way. Also, we do have Brigrand, the Glory Dragon in this deck list, but generally, you won't actually be using this card's effect at all, or even summoning this card. The only thing you're going to be using this card for is combination with your Mirrorjade. Because Mirrorjade is a card that allows you to send one of your extra deck monsters to the graveyard, to then quick effect banish a monster on the field. So in this case, you'll be sending your Brigrand, the Glory Dragon, from your extra deck to the graveyard, which will then be able to activate its effect as well, which is during the end phase. If this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add to your hand or special summon one Tri-Brigade monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So obviously, really nice way to generate some extra value and have follow-up plays on the following turn after using your Mirrorjade's effect to banish a card your opponent controls. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the deck list portion of the video. The rest of the video will be combos showcasing basically how to play this deck list, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, let's get into the combos. Today's deck list has 3 combos you need to know. Basically, it only has 2 combos, it's just the third one is a variation of the second, but if I don't show it, it'll confuse a lot of people because it looks a little bit different to the second one, does a little bit of a different path, but essentially it's the exact same combo, just with a slightly worse end board. Alright, let's get into it. So the first combo is with Rescue Cat. So you're going to summon out your cat. Activate your cat's effect, which will summon out 2 Tri-Brigades from the deck. Your Kerass and your Kitt. No, your Kerass. Then you can link summon off into your... I have no idea this card's name. I should really learn the card names before I start showing off combos, shouldn't I? That would make sense. Alright, summoning out your Tri-Brigade Ferrijit. Ferrijit? Yeah, close enough. Alright, this will allow you to use the Kitt's effect in the graveyard to send a Nervall. Nervall's effect will then go off, add a card to hand. In this case, you would add a copy of Fraktall, which we already have one in hand, but just for the sake of this combo, we're going to show it off like this. Alright. Then we can activate the effect of your ferrijit to special summon your Fraktall. We can then use the effect of your Fraktall to banish the 4 cards in your graveyard to be able to summon out the deck's, well, normally big boss monster, but in this case we're actually just going to be using it for a search. So banishing 4, summoning out your big Tri-Brigade boss monster. But in this case, we're actually not even going to be using for anything other than for a search effect. So we're now going to take that guy and we're going to link summon him off into your Barren. Barren? Sorry, Bearbrumm, sorry. Yeah, then we activate the effect of your Shrouded in the graveyard to be able to search for one of your Tri-Brigades from deck. In this case, or Wing Beast from deck, sorry. In this case, going to be adding this dude. It's not even Wing Beast, I think it's like, whatever. Either way. Now we can activate the effect of your Bearbrumm to be able to discard 2 cards to be able to special summon back one of your dudes from the, special summon back one of your dudes. Alright, so we're discarding this dude in combination with just some random ass card, doesn't matter which. To bring back one of your guys that hasn't used their effect yet to be able to link summon. So in this case, I don't think we've used my Kitt's effect yet, so I'm going to bring back Kitt. Activate Kitt's effect. Banishing 2 cards, one of which has to be the new Birdie. If you don't use the Birdie, you're going to be in a lot of big trouble, so make sure Birdie is needed. So Birdie and whichever other one, doesn't really matter. Going into a copy of your Ancient Warriors dude, who's a nice little end board card, as he can basically return one of your opponent's cards to hand, I believe, so pretty cool card. Alright, this will activate the effect of your Birdie. Birdie will add your Albion to hand. Albion can then activate its effect in hand to be able to send your branded sword from your deck to the graveyard. It being sent then allows you to banish it, to add your Birdie back to hand, which will also put your little dragon dude back in the deck, and you draw an extra card. So you generated quite a bit of value there, and we now got your hand trap in hand, ready for, during your opponent's turn, being able to negate stuff. On top of that, Then we're going to be link summoning into a Verte Anaconda. Making sure to not use this card yet, you want to be using the ferrijit. Summoning out your Predaplant Verte Anaconda. This will then activate your ferrijit's effect, so you can shuffle a card from hand back into the deck, draw a card if you don't like something, so, I don't know, get rid of that one. Then we can activate your Verte Anaconda's effect, paying your 2,000 life points to send a branded fusion to the graveyard. This will then allow you to summon out Mirrorjade. Now, very important when you're summoning out Mirrorjade, the card you want to use is your Bearbrumm, because when this card gets sent to the graveyard, it actually gets an effect to search for the really powerful trap card of the deck, which you all know about. Summoning out my dude. The really powerful trap card in the deck. The Tri-Brigade Revolt. And that's basically your end board. You're going to be ending on 1 banish, 1 return to hand, a Tri-Brigade Revolt to be able to special summon out your big boy whenever you want it, wherever he is. Yeah, your big boy whenever you want it. And on top of that, because this card's going to be banishing a specific card to the graveyard, or sending a card to the graveyard from the extra deck to banish a card, you're going to be sending, of course, your Brigrand to Glory, which is a card that when sent, it can then add a Tri-Brigade monster back to your hand. So, essentially, generates a lot of value, can have nice follow-up plays for your following turns, and obviously very hard to play through a pretty stacked board like this. Alright, on to the second combo. So this combo can essentially be done in just a shit ton of ways, as all you need to do it is a copy of Fraktall plus any other Tri-Brigade, literally any other, including a copy of itself. On top of that, the other way you can do this is with Kerass, in combination with also any other Tri-Brigade monster except a copy of itself. Although, if you do get unlucky and draw a Nervall, the combo is going to look slightly different, and that's what I'm going to show you in the replay after this one. But essentially, you just need Fraktall plus any other Tri-Brigade, or Kerass plus any other Tri-Brigade. Alright, let's get into the combo. So first thing you're going to do is activate your Fraktall's effect. This will allow you to send a Nervall to the graveyard. Nervall going to the graveyard will give you a search effect, which will allow you to add your birdie to hand. Then you simply just normal summon out whatever Tri-Brigade monster you have. Whichever one it is, doesn't matter, just summon it out. Now, this is the board you're aiming for. A Tri-Brigade monster on board, 2 cards in graveyard, and your birdie in hand. So if you had Kerass in this situation, instead of opening up your Fraktall, you could have activated Kerass's effect, sending your Kitt to the graveyard, which Kitt goes to the graveyard, can then just send your Nervall. Nervall then adds the bird to hand, and once again, you have the same board, because you would just special summon out your Kerass. So, same thing, Kerass, discard this card sends your Nervall, adds the birdie to hand, and because he special summoned himself, you would have had a monster on board as well. So literally the exact same combo, it will just look slightly different, but it's the same end board. Your Tri-Brigade on board, 2 monsters in graveyard for material, and your bird in hand. That's all you're aiming for. Alright, so you can activate your Kitt's effect. Kitt will be banishing 2 cards. This will special summon out your ferrijit. Ferrijit can then use its effect to special summon out your birdie, which now gives you a nice amount of material on board to go into your Bearbrumm. Sign out a Bearbrumm. This will activate your Kitt's effect. You can use it if you like. This, in this case, doesn't really matter. It would matter if this was Nervall, because then you get your search effect. Although actually we already used Nervall's effect, never mind. So you can use this if you like to just mill your deck a little bit, or you can just leave some Tri-Brigades in there. I think I prefer to leave some Tri-Brigades in deck, so I'm not going to do that. Also, then we can activate the effect of your Bearbrumm, which will discard 2 cards to bring back one of your monsters. In this case, make sure to bring back one that hasn't used its effect yet, as if you already used your Nervall's effect, you definitely don't want to bring it back yet. So, bring back your Fraktall in this situation, because we haven't used its effect yet. Activate its effect. This will allow us to banish 2 monsters to be able to bring out our Ancient Warrior card. Same as last time. This will activate our bird's effect, once again being able to search for your Albion. Albion, activate its effect. So this is going to look very similar now to the previous replay. Sending your trap card adds your bird back to hand. putting itself back in the deck and drawing a card. Then we're going to activate your... where is it? We're going to activate your Verte Anaconda using your Fraktall and the dude on board. This is actually really useful in this situation because we can put our Revolt back in the deck. Drawing a card and we're putting Revolt back in the deck because we're about to search for it anyway, so essentially we just gained an extra card. Activating Verte, paying 2,000. Bringing out your Mirrorjade by using your Bearbrumm on board in combination with the card you just put in graveyard. Or the card you're putting in graveyard. And we can activate the effect to your Bearbrumm to add your trap card to hand. And there you go, the same end board as before. We're ending on a nice little hand trap for your opponent activates a monster effect. Again, got the banish effect, your opponent tries to do anything annoying. We've got a return to hand effect. And of course, you have your Revolt set on board to bring out your big banishing dude whenever you like as well. Alright, this is the third combo for the deck, which is essentially just the second combo, just slightly different. And this is basically if you have Kerass plus Nervall on hand. Now this hand is not the best, as it does mean you're going to end up on an end board that doesn't end up with your hand trap in hand. That's basically the only difference, otherwise it's the exact same combo. So what you're going to do is activate your Kerass, sending your Nervall. Special summoning this guy to the board. In this case, you can activate your Nervall's effect. This will allow you to add your Kitt to hand. Now because you haven't done your normal summon yet, you can just normal summon your Kitt. Then you can activate your Kitt's effect by simply turning it into an Almiraj. Now be very careful with link arrows in this, because if you don't watch the link arrows, you may mess up quite a bit, because link arrows, they become pretty squished in this. So be careful not to put things in front of your link arrows. Alright, this will activate your Kitt's effect. Kitt can now send a copy of your birdie to the graveyard. So unfortunately, unlike with the previous combo, we don't have the birdie in hand. But that's still fine, because we can just do it the same combo, we just won't end on the bird. Alright, so Kerass going to be banishing 2 cards, making sure one is in fact the birdie. This will bring out your ferrijit. Activating your birdie's effect, adding your dude to hand. Here we can then use his effect, setting the trap card, which can then add your bird to hand. Which we can now special summon using the link monster we have on board. Okay, nice little draw here as well. Ash Blossom, nice. Alright, then special summoning out your birdie. This gives you the 2 monsters on board to be able to go into your link monster from before, your Bearbrumm. Be careful not to block up my link arrows here. Then we can activate your Bearbrumm's effect. This will be able to discard 2 cards, whichever ones you like, doesn't really matter. Bring back your Kitt. Again, try not to block link arrows in case we need them. Then we activate Kitt's effect, banishing 2 cards. To bring out your copy of Ancient Warriors. Then once again, we can use your Verte Anaconda, using your dude on board and your Kitt. I take this card's effect so we can get a draw and a discard, or draw and shuffle back into deck. Nice, a Maxx. Alright, activating your Predaplant Verte Anaconda's effect, paying 2,000. Activating your Branded Fusion. This will then allow you to bring out your Mirrorjade, using your dude from deck and your guy on board. And once again, you end on the exact same end board, only this time you don't get the hand trap from before. So you end on your Revolt, ending on your quick effect banish. You're gonna have to shuffle one of these back into the deck though. Feels bad. Alright, so there you go. You end on your Mirrorjade, you end on your Revolt, you end on your return to hand, and we even this time have an Almiraj to technically protect one of our cards from being destroyed as well, which is pretty nice, but it doesn't really, it's not too relevant. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Unfortunately, I won't be showing any gameplay examples for this deck list today, as I'm kind of running very low on time and I want to upload this video in like 4 hours, and I'm still recording, haven't even gotten to the editing part yet, so yeah, unfortunately I'm running out of time, so there won't be any gameplay examples, but maybe I'll do a stream later this week, which will show off some of the gameplay for this deck list for anyone that's interested in that. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, if you did, to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.